안녕하세요.
I'm Demarchlier.
I'm Arielle.
And we're
Soju for two.
Okay, so the next review we're going to be doing is Nodame Cantabile. And this one is actually Japanese, so it's not Korean.
Our first J-drama review.
Yeah, and I think that this is, even though I had seen some other J-dramas, basically like Boys Over Flowers and things like that, or the You're Beautiful that's in Japanese, this is the first one I saw that was like strictly like a Japanese story. So this was coming from an anime, and the main characters of this...
Okay, so you have Nodame, which is the female lead, and her real name is Yono Yori. You have Chiaki, who's the male lead, and his real name is Tamaki Hiroshi. And the other male lead that I like was Mine, so his real name is Ita. And there's lots of other characters. It really is like an ensemble cast.
This is one of those ones I feel like there's so many people in this story, and that they follow through, because what this is it's a it's 11-part drama, and then there were 2 specials that were longer, and then there was 2 movies. So it really is kind of like a lot more than you're usually used to with one, with a drama. I mean, even though it's only 11 episodes, and that's actually kind of short. What I think is really great about this, though, and like because of that, all the characters follow through through the drama, through the specials, through the movies, and that's really important. So the chemistry here, I mean, I think this is really great. What's funny about this is the main characters are supposed to be like really different, right? Yeah. So Nodame is supposed to be sort of eccentric, almost sort of scatterbrained, but really brilliant, and then Chiaki is supposed to be like brilliant, sort of type A, right?
Yeah, like OCD,
Yeah.
And then she like comes in like a hurricane into his life.
Yeah.
And this is also interesting because we don't really talk about the music yet, but he's a conductor, so that's like, or he wants to be a conductor.
Yeah,
They're
music's
in school.
the biggest part of this. I mean, music will play. We'll talk about that, but that's like one of the biggest parts of the story. And I think with the chemistry here, I mean, with the 2 leads, I like loved this story right when I started watching it. I mean, obviously Chiaki is like a great character, and what's interesting here, something that you don't see in a lot of Korean dramas, is like there's the anime aspects that's really brought into this.
Yeah, like all the hitting and
a lot of violence in a way. Like, I mean, I feel like the last thing I saw that had violence at all was Boys Over Flowers, but this is more funny violence, because it's like, if that makes sense, and somehow like hitting women makes sense in this. I don't really get it, but I mean, it like adds like humor to it.
I think it's a cultural thing that's definitely like, because we've never really read any of the manga or like any of the anime, so we don't really
watch too many of them.
Yeah, we don't really know too much about that, but we definitely know that that's like brought from those. Yeah. So it's something that we don't see in our TV usually,
So that was sort of most things we had to get used to.
Getting used to that one as well.
The love triangle with this.
So we have basically the triangles between Chiaki, Nodame,
and then another girl.
Another girl who I don't remember her name, and it's not really that important to us because really it's about the 2 of them.
Yeah, I mean, because there's some other characters, but who don't really get pushed too far into the stories. I mean, it's not like there's really ever like a pivotal moment like where you think they might choose someone else. It's really just, are they like ready to be together? Yeah. I think that's more the issue here. The love triangle isn't really going on. It's more just like there's, lots of other things occurring in their lives, and they might have issues to be able to be together.
Okay. So mistaken identity and misunderstanding?
Definitely I don't think mistaken identity is really the same issue. I mean, maybe in like the first episode when like, he wakes up and he doesn't know what's going on or something. That's like 2 seconds. And then misunderstandings, that happens a lot, because like he will try and shelter her from things, and she won't know, and then it'll hurt her feelings, and she's really emotional. I mean, I think that that's definitely something that like the misunderstandings will constantly keep just pushing them and testing their relationship.
I think it's a lot more to do with like sort of the nature of being like a musical genius, the sort of the problems with them like understanding each other and the rest of the world because they're so wrapped up in like the music. And
I think the misunderstandings get solved by music in the story. I mean, it's like that's the thing, like any type of problems they're having, music is sort of the thing that brings them together. Bad guy turned good. Well, obviously Chiaki's like, you're supposed to think of him not as a bad guy, but just as like, he's really cold in the beginning, just really like seems, standoffish. Yeah. And then he becomes, though still kind of cold, just really warm to her. And I think that's kind of, I mean, that's what I like about stuff like, with Boys Over Flowers and like the Junpyu kind of syndrome, that's what I'll call it now. Just the idea of like that, this rich boy who is really doesn't care about anybody else, and then starts to care about someone and cares about them a lot. I mean, even if he doesn't want to admit it right away.
Definitely a very cute love story in this one.
Okay, so piggyback rides, I don't really know. That doesn't really stand out to me as something, but kisses I think definitely are. There's really sweet kisses. Not in the drama, that's not really going on. Like there's a cheek kiss really early, And then in the specials, and then they start kind of going into the movies is when you actually see like kisses. So I mean, I think that I think it's a little different. Now that's something to talk about here. I mean, something that is brought up in the the J dramas versus Korean dramas, some issues that you don't see. Well, we haven't really seen in in other Korean dramas is like something with other characters. So the main the conductor who inspires them. He talks about like pornography and like he's always looking at that, or they're always going to places where there's like lots of women. That's not really something that gets brought up in Korean dramas.
Yeah, it's really rarely breached, and if it is like bar girl kind of thing, as opposed to all the porn and
which is interesting. And also some other things we saw just that were striking differences right away. Smoking. I haven't seen smoking in any Korean dramas. I don't know if that's something that they just don't have in dramas.
They don't talk about, or they don't show. I'm not sure, but
he smoked a lot.
Smoking all the time in the show.
Nodame. Also, what are some other things?
I was also a couple years older, so maybe that has something to do with it. I mean, we know now, like sort of all of the health craze and everything.
Yeah, but the movies just came out pretty recently in 2010. True. So I mean,
so it's a lot more smoking. Which
that's what's interesting too. This one goes for a long period of time. Mm-hmm. I mean, when they were filmed. So like the first ones were filmed, I think it was 2006, and then the last movie is 2010. So it is kind of a long period of time. I mean, some other thing with J dramas, also there's an openly gay character. Who plays one of the instruments, and he also likes Chiaki. Maybe you could add him to a triangle, but not really. I mean, he's just more of a fun character to add to the story. But I mean, he's openly gay, so instead of like something like Coffee Prince where there's like potential, maybe no, like he's actually gay, and you're sort of told that right away. Mm-hmm. So with fashion in this one, I mean, actually, like Chiaki, I feel like has like a uniform. He always wears like a white shirt, button down, really nice black pants, and then like. There's tuxedos and stuff because of the music, but it seems like more of a uniform. And Nodame wore sort of crazy, sort of eccentric outfits.
So what you imagine a music genius to wear.
Yeah. So music. I mean, obviously, this is the whole thing. They're classical musicians. She's a pianist, and Chiaki is trying to become a conductor, and then
violin player.
He plays violin.
And that's what I love. I love Minay. He's my favorite, and he plays a violinist.
Yeah, they're all they're classically trained musicians. And the thing is, sort of like with the two geniuses of Chiaki and Nodame, the like musical geniuses of sort of figuring out, it's like they're getting their chance to be conductors or be able to play the piano, and that's sort of the struggles you're going through, and sort of them debuting and things like that. And that's what you see more with the movies. But I think like in the beginning, it's just really Nodame sort of finding herself. And I feel like the end of this story, I feel like the second movie, the end of that was like really emotional for me. The drama was sweet, it was cute, but I feel like you have to sort of watch the whole thing to be able to really appreciate the entire thing. So for a rating from this, I give this a 9. I think that Nodame was something that I'll want to watch again and again. I liked it sort of broken up into a drama, then to parts, then to movies, because I can watch it in sort of easier way. I mean, I love the end of this story. I feel like it's complex. The music was wonderful. I kept wanting to listen to classical music after I watched this. So yeah, I really love this story.
I give it a 7. I really enjoyed the show. I wasn't quite as thrilled with it as Marsh, but I definitely loved the characters. I thought that the love story was very sweet, and I really mostly watched the episodes, the regular series. So in those, I thought that was really sweet, but I didn't really have the drive to watch the other things as much as she did. So I give it a 7. I'm not as big into the classical music, so maybe that has something to do with it. So if you really like classical music, this one's for you. And thank you so much, guys.
Bye.